Right, gonna crack straight on with this one. What do I have in my sand tub? And when I say sand tray or sand tub, I mean just a box, literally a plastic tub, guys. That's it. That's all I've got, and it's got the little clippy lid. And then inside is simply some play sand that I got really cheap from Wix. I think it was £5 a bag. Sometimes they do deals. Now, sand trays are a brilliant type of contingency play. So contingency play is when you are reenacting using real life small objects. I often call it small world play because that kind of makes more sense, and often that's what is referred to if you go onto Pinterest or things like that. So contingency play uses real life things, and it's reenacting out scenarios. So if your child is particularly scared of something, you can start to introduce that in contingency play, and a great way to do that is in a sand tray. So I have a basket full of little teeny tiny objects that I just throw in a bag and then I take with me in the sandbox. And the kinds of things you can put in there, I've got things that look like fake rocks. These came with a pack of jungle animals. I've got a teddy that looks like a tiger. I've got little models, so I've got a car in here somewhere. I've got planes. I've got buses, trucks, anything like that. And then I've got some more, well, I guess they are real, but not alive now. I've got dinosaurs that can often represent bad or evil characters. I have actual figurines. So this one's a policeman, really useful, that one. And then other little Lego figurines as well. The more realistic they are, the better, because you want it to be a little bit more like real life, and we'll see why in a minute. Other random things, I've got like lollipop sticks, chopsticks, little wooden cutout people. Spoons are really good for things like digging. I've also got in here jugs and spoons, bowls, little bits of Lego or anything they can construct stuff with. Bouncy ball. Oh, I think I've got like diamonds. Literally weird and random things as well, like a frog. And sometimes if I've got a specific fear that they are playing out, I will put that in the sand tray. So I've got, really randomly, I've got a tail. But I've also got little army people and with guns and things like that. So if the child that I was working with had a specific fear around something, I would go and find a very small object around that. So for example, I had a child once that was very afraid of police because they had come to the house and they were looking for somebody. Actually ended up nothing to do with their family, but then they had a real fear that they were going to be taken away. So within my sand tub box, I put in little people that could be mum and dad. I put in a little policeman. I put things in like buildings that could be the police station and houses, and watch the child reenact. And what they did is they often would put the themselves in a plane and they would fly away, or a car and they would fly away. And so we reenacted actually what the policeman might have been saying and might have been doing, and I helped them to work through their fear by realising that the policeman was actually there to help. It was not about taking them away. But I needed to see how they were going to reenact that scene in order to understand what their real fear of the policeman actually was, before I could then start reenacting other scenarios with them. And it's really good to do it in a sand tray specifically, because you can do things like the children will often bury people. So if the child is afraid of the policeman, sometimes they put them in there and then they start covering them up because representatively they want them to be gone. So try to find a collection of random things to put in your sand tray. The more realistic the better, but then also mixing it up with imaginary type things. I've got diamonds, I've got treasure, dinosaurs, all sorts. I've got a rooster, a giant rooster. And the children will use contingency play to reenact those fears and anxieties. You can just sit back and watch to help understand what it is they're actually afraid of and where that's coming from, and then use the contingency play to reenact the scenario to help them to understand and work through their fears. So, simple. Box, I think this was £3 off Amazon. The play sand I got from Wix for £5. All these random things I've collected over time. And I'm not going to lie, the very known £1 type shops sell a lot of these things. Random tubs and tubes, grab anything you can, teddies, spoons, bits of Lego, put it in there, chuck it in, see what happens. So I hope that's helpful. That's my live for this week. If you want any more specific support, please do get in touch. If you think your child's fears are becoming unmanageable and you're really worried, please reach out for specialised support. Go to your GP is a great place to start. Talk to your child's teacher at school, and there's Senko perhaps there. So if you're worried that this fear or anxiety is actually becoming a lot worse and unmanageable and you're worried about it, please reach out for support. I'll hopefully see you next week for another live. I'll have a think about what the next toy is that I'm going to represent. I will download this video and put it on my YouTube channel, which there are loads, there's hundreds of videos now that I keep posting up there, so please go and watch them. There's the one that's under Parenting Play Academy, but then there's lots of other stuff as well. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!